sasquatch, yahoo, phantom of the forest, you spear finger, fire dragon, Ohio grassman, silver giant, bloodless howler, West Virginia vampire, coyote king, hogzilla, devil, dark coyote killer. Cave creature, mothman, smoke wolf, a lizard, demon, ashman, grafton monster, cow-killing bastard, shadow creature, dustman, Cherokee, death cat, wild man, great fire ape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snarly Gasterote, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry, Wolfman or Wolf County, need to find the axe again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
This here's BIGFEETS, the only Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast. I'm Robert Brockway, and, man, I'm just an ordinary dog who's lost his way. Metaphorically. Not literally, that would be stupid.
Of course. Oh, I'm Sean Baby from the internet. If I know you, that cane's not just a cane, I commented. I was right. It turned out to mask a blade, and Springlock that once released turned its silver head into something close to a medieval mace. Bucky's grin let me know I was right on target. You know me, pirate. I like the satisfaction of a personal effort more than some impersonal explosives. Keith joined us, shaking his head in amazement. You worked with Frank too? Frank? Bucky didn't know me by that name. Keith gestured at me. Frank Dukes, this sorry son of a bitch. Bucky's mouth almost hit the floor. You're Frank Dukes? The Frank Dukes? The one Van Damme tried to impersonate in Bloodsport? I'll be damned.
And I am award-winning author Jason Pargin. I assume Jamie cuts out those my stunned pauses. Those can't be left in.
No,
yeah, I do think she cuts them out. And you lose something because then you see Jason's face just go from like kind of delight to then exhaustion at the end, just like an abrupt mask in the cut. What was the name he told Bucky?
He was pirate to Bucky during one of their missions, I think in Afghanistan. But I did the next 2 pages of that book, I swear to God, are them doing that movie thing where it's like, I haven't seen you since the Sandinistas. Yeah, you fucking son of a bitch. I haven't seen you since Ecuador. Oh, we almost died in Afghanistan.
I can't wait to see how he writes the 2-arm bulging handshake from Predator. Like,
he had a cane with a blade inside of it, but then the blade sprung into a morning star? Or
yes.
Is that what he...
That's a spring-loaded morning star. Frank Dukes invented it, put it in the book.
I like to think the blade was overcome by the Morning Star so that it was totally useless, like a blade. But that's the decoy for the Morning Star.
Can you imagine being our elderly selves out in the city and a bunch of young toughs come up to try to mug you, and you pull up your cane and you pull out a sword, and then from the end of the sword, ching. Can you imagine how much harder they would mug you? It's like, oh, he's got a mall ninja.
I've never seen that before.
Cane.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
I want that.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Two of these blades shoot off, like in that Dragon Slayer movie.
Oh, Jesus.
I forget what kind of podcast we are, but before we get to that, let's do some plugs. Where can people find more from you, Jason?
If you want to be disappointed in comparison to the thing you just heard, I have a new book up for pre-order. The title is There Are No Giant Crabs in This Novel, A Novel of Giant Crabs. Yes, that is the title. You can pre-order it in any format, including audio, ebook, hardcover, wherever they sell books. It doesn't come out until the winter, but pre-orders matter a lot. If I get enough pre-orders, we can make the New York Times put that title on their bestseller list. It won't happen. They're too afraid, but think of how funny it would be if somebody's browsing the bestseller list to find out what are the hot new titles to check out, and on there they have, there are no giant crabs in this novel, a novel of giant crabs.
Sean, how about you?
My thing also has a silly name, but it's not as long. It's 1-900-HOT-DOG. And it's like the good old days of jokes with like images and texts with like talented writers. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/1-900-HOT-DOG to support us and this podcast.
So it's kind of like, it's like reading a transcript of like social media.
There's like a certain age of person that knows what I'm talking about. And I guess they're like 38 to 50.
Surely
they remember
dying by now.
cracks.com. It's a lot like cracks.com.
I will even say it is okay. This is probably boring for people who weren't around for the blogging era. This is doing what we probably usually weren't allowed to do on Cracked, where you're allowed to truly play with the format of an article. Where if I tried to explain the premise of, there was a couple of columns ago from Sean where it's like 4 premises deep.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. It's hard to. I don't even know how to explain it.
One of the comments
job.
I just saw this the other day. They said this is like when Picasso got bored and invented Cubism, and they meant it as a really like a high compliment, and I took it that way, and I thought that's very nice. I can real quick explain it. I was reviewing a book about German dolls, and I thought, what an ordinary thing, these insanely creepy dolls. And so I started writing jokes about, and I wanted to do like a classic list, like the 20 worst German dolls. And I was like, obviously, I'm not going to do that. And so I saved the file as a WHP file, which is a 1995 Whoopi Goldberg sci-fi comedy. And so the entire article was that script with pictures from the German doll book. And that's how I presented it. Obviously, I'm not explaining the whole thing, but that's the kind of thing you can expect.
Yeah, you lied when you said you could explain it. Naked, bald-faced lie.
I realize it sounds obnoxious if you don't know what we're talking about, but there was a time when there were websites that were doing comedy that had not existed before and has not existed since, because it was taking advantage of the fact beyond the internet you are not limited to a word count, you're not limited to a page format, so you could play with the form. I know that sounds pretentious. That's the world that we are from. We came from that, and we thought, this is amazing. This is like, you can, if you want to spend 12,000 words doing a deep dive into a particular, MMA fight that you saw 20 years ago, you can do it. And if you want to do the whole thing in the form of like word bubbles and implying that the whole thing was an episode of Animaniacs or something, and people really were like challenging each other to be weird and to find a weird way to present the thing, and it wasn't just the 10 funniest whatever. And that was before SEO and Google and social media took over the flow of all traffic, because back then people would bookmark a site and would just become religiously dedicated to that site because you were there and you could follow the writer down this journey. This is where I came from. It's what made my career. It's where Sean came from. It's where Brockway came from. And it was a very narrow window of time before they took it away from us, because I guess you could not make a lot of money doing it. But there was a time when Sean ruled that world and we all wanted to be just like him. And I know it's a weird thing to say on a podcast, but it's
very nice.
But it's also objectively true. You can ask any writer from that era. Go find anyone working that work. A lot of these people are now writing for TV. A lot of these people have grown up and they've hidden little Sean Baby references in their video games and in their TV shows. Like, yeah, because they all do secretly wish it was 1997 again.
It was the best.
Anyway, This can all be cut. It's I realize
Don't cut this,
no,
Jamie. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
One of my favorite things was we finally got Sean for Cracked after we'd been going a few years, and everybody obviously was just freaking the fuck out. All the other writers know who Sean is, and we're just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? We got him. But we had raised, there was like the generation that was just finding us and had not come from earlier internet with Sean. And so one of Sean's first columns, he got a comment that was like, this guy's fucking trying to sound like Brockway, and it just doesn't work. He was weirdly happy about that, but also like, I'm going to ban this guy. I'm like, oh, thank you, but I'm gonna ban you.
Yep.
That was the wrongest anybody has maybe ever been in the annals of history, and may God have mercy on your soul. I am legally obligated to promote my book. It's also got a funny name. It's called "I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200" because none of us can be serious. We're clinically incapable of it. It's out. It's out now. Go buy it. It's good. Spent a long time threatening these guys, threatening all of you, threatening my place of employment. And my main regret is that it didn't work, and that I'm going to prison. I'm going to prison. I'm in prison for not promoting my book well enough. And, prison's kind of nice. Prison's not bad. They say to write a good character, you should have two things. A want the character knows, and a need that they don't. And those two things are usually going to be at odds. So when I started this journey, for example, I wanted to write a good book. But what I needed was to go to federal prison. I think that's my plug. I think technically it's more for federal prison than my book.
Yeah.
That's it. We're a Mountain Monsters Watch Along podcast. We're watching an episode called The Red-Eyed Beast. The Red-Eyed Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, though, look how clean and easy it is to recap. Recapping used to be a nightmare. We would spend 15 minutes trying to explain where the plot was, and we did a terrible job. The listeners were far more lost than if we just said nothing. Here, so simple. They came to this place in West Virginia to see if there were still wolves that they thought were extinct. Turns out, woods are filthy with them. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
That turned out to not be interesting at all. Then they found a buck ran. What was the thing? Okay, no, you do the recap you were going to do.
I was going to leave out all of that and say you don't need to know much about what happened. They went out to look for wolves, which are animals that exist, so good job. The mission accomplished. A lot of people proved it before them. They did find wolf prints, which was their contribution. One of those over an old grave belonging to somebody named Keeley, and they decided Jeff should look into that. And that somehow was 2 whole episodes of television.
But okay,
and 19
but
hours
also,
of podcast.
Buck drove through a ghost wolf, but that's obviously is not the same thing that they think was stepping on that grave, because obviously a ghost would not leave footprints, right? So we're talking about, because again, they came here and found that the woods were so infested with wolves that they at one point trapped a farmer and his family in their home until the Ames team could come clear the wolves off their property, which they did not do. They came and found where the wolves had eaten the bones of a hog and said, too scary, going. So that farmer's dead. Mm-hmm. Not only are there wolves in West Virginia, they're just eating people and hogs left and right.
And they're the last people to know about it. This has been proven several times over. So honestly, they're contributing very little to nothing. We jump right into this one. We jump in on Jeff relaying his research onto that grave. And what he found was that what he says is it's a 200-year-old European tradition for graveyards to bury a protector. And what they would do is they would bury a family dog alive. And what that would do is that would bind its ghost to the graveyard where it would protect their family members in the spirit world. So I guess in this 200-year-old European religion, you are damned to limbo on the spirit world, where you must remain in spirit form in the graveyard which you were buried, protected by ghost hounds from. I guess there are threats. I guess there are ghost threats outside of the graveyard.
What's great is that at one point Jeff brings up on his laptop an ancient aged newspaper from 1937, and they Photoshop this thing is like written on the parchment that they use for the Declaration of Independence. It's like
So
on
funny.
goat skin, and the headline is Guardians of the Graveyards, the Grimms. And it's just a news article explaining that, well, the ghost dogs, they would defend, because back in 1937, that's what the news was like. It's just like, well, it looks like the ghosts of the restless sailors are still haunting the harbor.
Front page news. It was a front page, by the way.
Yeah.
It was the
They
front page of the
used-
paper was ghost dogs are called Grimms.
They used great.
You want to talk about the stock market? It's 1937.
No, we got
we're-
ghost dogs, everybody.
We got like Nazis, man. Nope. Front page news. Ghost dogs
War in the
called
Pacific.
Grimms.
But first, ghost dogs. They forgot to desaturate the clip art, and they didn't set that layer to multiply, so it looks like baby's first Photoshop project. It is so hilariously terrible. Also, I wanted to talk about this because this is a real thing that Jeff is butchering. There is an ancient folklore that whoever dies first in a graveyard is forced to protect that graveyard. And so the dog thing is real. What they would do is they would bury a dog, not alive. Jeff made that part up. They bury a dog to save a human soul from that terrible fate. So the dog would be the first to be buried, and he would be stuck guarding the cemetery, and then all the other human bodies could rest in peace. That's the tradition.
Man,
that Jeff fucked up
Dogs
in every
don't deserve
direction.
that. Bury a jerk.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, Jeff says the Grim was black and it had red eyes. And Buck, Buck gets to go for his Emmy here. Buck he takes a minute, puts his hands on his head, he walks away, he just groans at the forest, and they're like, my God, what's going on with Buck? And he says, I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you guys about the time I hit a ghost dog with my rental car. You forgot to tell us, only now that we've said there were ghost dogs, you're like, yeah, I totally hit one of those with my rental car. Yeah, I wouldn't believe him either. They kind of don't believe him. He tells him, he also gives him an out. He says, I was so tired, I might have been sleep hallucinating, but now that you've said this thing about a ghost dog,
Sure, he hit it now.
now it was real. It must have been real.
Wow, but he's playing the skeptic and says, I don't believe in ghosts, and I certainly don't believe in ghost dogs. Which, again, nothing prior to this is canon. So the Bloodless Howler, all of that stuff, the Mothman, none of that crap, because they have absolutely interacted with ghosts before. They
He
have
went
summoned
to the
spirits.
hospital from the Cherokee child bride that touched him.
He
on
has
the
been
arm.
possessed half a dozen times by spirits. He has seen spirits. He has seen multiple, like 4 or 5. They summoned some. Remember the dark room? They did the chant, "Mommy, to turn the lights out," whatever the hell that was.
Right.
And the ghost started ringing the bell, and Buck was in the corn, and then the ghost.
They chased that cat up the tree that was made out of the Trail of Tears. Remember?
Yeah, it sounds silly when you phrase it like that, but yeah, so that's the thing. I've not actually ever watched a show where it was a supernatural show, and then in season 7, they rebooted to eliminate the supernatural.
In
so
Hollywood,
that
they call that the Reverse Baywatch Nights.
No, they did that. You guys see, this is the thing about being a Supernatural fan, is that nobody watched past like season 3 or so. So they don't realize this is exactly what happened in Supernatural. Season 7 stopped being about hunting ghosts. It became a reality house flipping show. The boys just flipped houses. And that's why it went until season 27 or whatever it was.
Right.
When they ended by going gay for paying, I guess. That's kind of what happened in the actual Supernatural show. And we'll move.
Okay.
So I just love that he forgot that Buck's like, I forgot to tell you I hit a ghost dog with my rental car. Okay, well that would have been useful information.
What if he just decided, no, me too, and then later that was a pickup shot that they faked that later and then stuck it in the last episode. That might be the sequence of events.
That's probably how this show works. Like that probably is the sequence because they're also very stunned, as in like that's a fucking crazy thing to say. Like I know we're improvising things, but you forgot to tell. So they go back
that
to the scene of the crime.
That Patrick Swayze movie called Black Dog. Did you just watch that, Buck?
No,
because I saw Predator, and we could play that if you wanted.
It says Forrest Whitaker, and he was. Okay, now, but before they go out to, because they're going to go out to that spot to obviously look for sign of a ghost dog. Obviously, they're going to go out and see it,
ghost tracks.
Try to find what
ghost
they
sign.
can find out there. But first, we've got to do a comedy bit. The comedy music is going to start playing because remember, Buck is driving a car that is too small for these men.
Can I tell you my literal actual reaction when they started doing the will we all fit into this small car, normal sized car, but they're all very large gentlemen, and started doing this bit. I was like, you've already done 34 minutes of this last episode. It was worn out. It was brutal. And they started back in. I took my headphones out of my ears. I got up and I walked out and I stood staring out my back door at like the wind blown snowscape out there and just like felt the outer despair match my inner despair and become one for a while. And then I came back here and it was still
going on. Yeah, it was still going. You did not pause it. They were still
going.
There's like nothing to it either. At least the last one, like Jeff was wiggling on Huckleberry's balls. But this one is straight up just like Buck, who is not a slim man. I know he had lap band surgery, so he's down to like a trim 350 or whatever. But he is like pointing at the hydraulics of the car and laughing like when Huckleberry gets in. Like, look at how fat he is. Makes the whole car move. And it's just it's mean-spirited. It's like nothing other than, haha, look at the fatty, which is given the source a real fucked up joke.
And given the source a real fucked up person to point that out. But that's how bad you fucked up. That's how bad you fucked up. It's like an Appalachian world problem. None of this is necessary. Like you do have two skinnier guys and one, big but not quite as big guy. You could just rearrange the car and none of this is necessary. Like
get a second car.
If you have Willie, Wild Bill, and Buck in the back seat, it's fine. And then the others who take the front. Like, okay, but no, we gotta do fucking half hour of clown music. We gotta do some clown shoes shit here. I'm gonna punch this goddamn writer in the face. I know it's him. I know he's doing it. He thinks like, well, that's called a callback. He tells the boys, and they're like, oh my god, taking notes. Fuck you.
It's so funny you talked about leaving and coming back because I did the same thing. Like I got up, got a drink, checked in with the baby, and like
there's nobody.
It's literally in my notes.
Be doing it.
Tell everyone you left and it was still happening.
I have no idea. Like there might have. If you're listening at home, feel free to rake me over the coals. Rake all of us over the coals for not seeing where like the fleet of ghost dogs came charging through the screen and tore apart a baby in front of their eyes, and then they went back to the comedy bit, and we just didn't notice it. Because I will never know. I'm not going to go back and watch it. Right. So
they go back to the scene of the ghost crime. They find the skid marks from Buck's very, very gentle stop. And that's pretty good detective work there.
Jeff says, you ripped this up like fresh asphalt, buddy. And he points down at the wet dirt road. Like, I guess those would be pretty similar. That you just stopped kind of quick. I don't know why they have to make it seem super tough that he stopped when he hit a ghost dog. Buck explains
which again he doesn't think he hit. He for 24 hours thought, I was just so sleepy I saw a ghost dog.
Yes. But now they have to reenact the accident. And they volunteer Wild Bill to play the dog. They do a little bit about how he even has fleas like a dog. Just woo. And
They have video.
Wild Bill,
Hold on. They have video of the fucking incident. They don't need to recreate it. They can call up Colt and say, hey, can we fucking have the footage of the time we hit the ghost dog? We'll just look at that. Plus, they flashed back on it 4 times. So as a viewer, I'm watching a reenactment of something I have seen 4 times. And that sucks for me.
Well, what makes it even worse, what rubs it in, is that to start this off, Buck comes up to the car and he holds his hand about where the dog's head was, and he says it was about there. Mm-hmm. And then they decide, no, we need to reenact this, and so they reenact it, and he gets in the car, and then they have Wild Bill stand in front of the car, and then he tells him to crouch down to a certain point, a point where, say, his hand was a moment ago, and then he says, all right, stop. And they get out, and then they measure how high Wild Bill was when he was standing there. Just measure the hand.
Yes. Okay. But this is the magic of mountain monsters in one scene. Because they arrive there, even though they have a writer on staff or a story editor, a guy who there's clearly written bits now. They get back to the scene, but they're investigating the scene of him driving through a non-corporeal ghost dog. They quickly realize, oh, damn. So they look around. It's like, yeah, that man's crazy. There's no footprints or nothing around here. Nothing. There's nothing to look at. So they're like, okay, well, we've got to do something. So they accidentally do a bit that I think is from an Austin Powers movie where it's like, okay, I think it came up to about right here. Bill, crouch down to put your head right there. Okay. Now measure, no, lower. Okay, now measure his head. Like, okay, you're telling him where to be. So just tell him where to put the measuring tape. And it doesn't seem like anybody on the scene recognizes the problem with that. That's like, okay, so about 4 feet tall. Wow, that's a big ghost dog. That's big for a ghost dog.
Sure.
It really makes you reminisce for the times when they would use Huckleberry as a Bigfoot stand-in and then say, yeah, he's about that tall except for maybe like a foot or 2 taller.
Yeah, or they would say, they would be like, yeah, the Bigfoot, his head came up to that branch. Really? Huckleberry, go stand down there by that branch.
Oh my God, that branch is taller than Huckleberry.
That branch that's 3 inches taller than Huckleberry, and he's 6'5", so that means that Bigfoot's 6'8", 6'9". It's like,
wow.
Yeah, you could have just measured the branch.
Sure.
No,
but
you gotta. All people are that we measure in people.
It's worth mentioning that the guy barking in front of the car is the. He's being told where to stand by someone who didn't think he saw it for more than a day. Who thinks, I did not see that dog, it did not exist. Wait, it did, and I in fact know exactly how tall it was.
Yes.
And
it's also
his whole thing is like, well, it's 4 feet tall, black, red eyes. What else could it be? And then Jeff said, sounds like a Grim. And the thing is, why couldn't it be the Black Wolf? Remember the Black Wolf from the Dark Forest?
Oh, right.
It was an omen, meaning you're about to die. Why couldn't it be the Devil Dog? Why couldn't it be the Hellhound? Why couldn't it be the Wampus Beast? Why couldn't it be the Bloodless Howler? Why couldn't it be the Cherokee Death Cat? Why couldn't it be the Werewolf of Webster County, which it turned out was just a wolf, just bigger?
And they would
none of that exists. None of that exists now. It's all been erased.
And they would say, I have no idea what you're talking about. This man is crazy. Can somebody please come get him? Discovery executives, I don't know him. I don't know this guy. Nobody knows what he's talking about. So they determine they need to go investigate. They go look for clues. They determine that not only are there no prints in the surrounding area, but no animal must have ever been to this part of the forest.
Never.
Like, they make a big show of saying, like, if anything touched this, like, huge mound of grass and moss here, it would leave prints forever. And there are no prints. Yeah. Nothing
No
has
prince.
lived. Nothing can live in this area. Just really overselling like how impossible this would all be.
The decision they make is that Buck is crazy. The decision is, oh, you really must have been sleep deprived and hallucinating, not, oh, right, ghosts don't leave fucking tracks. Like, but they got to choose between those two things, and they chose, okay, our team leader just imagines stuff that isn't there.
If they have a writer on staff, I'm sorry, there is no way they can start doing that thing where they switch back and forth from this thing is a ghost to, okay, now let's finish the trap. This thing is a ghost. Guys, make sure you've got your guns ready. If it attacks us, you can't, where they're hopping back and forth between, okay, we've decided it's a ghost, but instead of coming up with a ceremony to capture it, this is where a writer will say, no, if it's a ghost, you've got to have a ritual, something, you know,
Electric
and they've
field.
done stuff like that in the past, but will that occur to them in this particular episode? We'll see.
It's
We don't
amazing
know.
that we're going to watch them reinvent their mistakes. Like, just
It's so sad because you get to be our age and you see people doing the same thing where it's like their fourth relationship, and it's like, oh, he's doing the same thing.
Gotta
Like, well,
start
yeah,
over.
you know, when I met her, she was cheating on her boyfriend, but you know, we had something special, and I think it's going to last between the two of us. Like, no, it's not.
God, when I met her, she was so hot. She must have been, I don't know, about 4 feet tall, red eyes, big black shoulders.
We met when I hit her with my car.
But now there's no sign she ever existed. It's like it never even happened. Dating a ghost dog. That's Ghost Dog 2. Ghost Dog 2.
She married an ancient child, and the predator from the hit film Predator was there. Oh shit! You guys let me go. You let me get going too long.
Yeah, he's gonna. We're reinventing all the mistakes. He's gonna at one point. We're gonna watch him reinvent Predator. For the 15th time. Okay, so they're driving away. They're driving away again, and Buck's do that thing where he talks about anything because he knows an event is coming up, and he's just talking about like, well, it must have been a dream. You're right, guys. It must have been a whoa. And he slams on the brakes. This time it's Willie who saw something. Willie saw something dart away into the woods, and they all get out to chase it. And I think Jeff legitimately gets stuck in the car.
Yeah.
Okay, they are playing tension chase music. Oh my God, the creature's real. It's right here. Oh my God, everybody go get it. Everybody run. And Jeff's like, I'm stuck. And they come, but they're not playing the wacky comedy music. They're not making jokes. They're like, I'm stuck in the car. Somebody, and they're like trying to drag him out.
They look annoyed at it. They're like, God damn it, Jeff, we were doing a chase scene. And he's freaking out. He's just kind of roly-poly in there going, ah!
It's amazing.
It's
what
a normal
other
car.
show? They have no idea what tone they're going for because these men can't pull off a real action scene in their actual lives. If like a team of ninjas attacked Wild Bill's house and threatened his family, the thing he did would be hilarious even if there were no cameras on. I think this is just the way they live their lives.
I think that's a legitimate. And again, I can't emphasize if you haven't been listening very carefully, by the just knowing about the bit, you're probably picturing them all in like a Geo Metro or a Miata or something. It's a Toyota Camry. It's a normal sized car. Somehow he got stuck in the back seat of a Toyota Camry. I don't know how that's possible.
And not just stuck, but like panic stuck. Like dear God,
yes.
I can't get out of the car.
No dignity, completely abandoned, full toddler arms flailing around in the sky.
And Willie is trying to do his own bit because he's like, I don't know what I saw, but it was black. It was about this tall, and he like puts his hand where the fucking ghost wolf is, and it's like, they forgot about the thing they've been hunting for a day. Oh yeah.
They do
so
find
fucking
half
stupid.
a track. They find half a track, and Buck says, "My God, imagine what the other half would look like."
Okay. Stop. No, stop. They found a what?
I don't know what the fuck you call this. It looked like someone just scraped the mud with anything.
Okay, but
a ghost track is what
they
Jason's
found
saying.
a track. What? We are not asking them to remember lore from 5 seasons ago. I get I forget things that happened in my own books that I wrote 20 years ago. I get it. Stuff. Every TV show, Breaking Bad, loses track of stuff because the script supervisor, just something they just forgot. Okay, that happens. It was the previous scene. It was 25 seconds ago when the whole point was we saw a ghost dog, but there was not a single track anywhere. So what Buck saw, either it was a hallucination or we're dealing with something not of this world. So they get in the car, they drive down the street, and before Buck can finish his sentence in the fake story he was about to tell to pretend to be surprised by the thing, they saw the ghost dog. Aha, wasn't a hallucination. It's real. Oh, look, here's the track it left behind to prove it exists. What are we doing? What are we doing?
It's so generous of you to say, well, I can't remember things in books I wrote 20 years ago, because you've lived a life in the span of those moments. And they've done 2.25 episodes of television, and the only thing they've established is that this thing doesn't leave tracks. It's the only thing they did. They didn't do multiple things and then forget about it. They did one thing. And
there was that harrowing moment where Jeff couldn't get out of the car. I mean, that changes a man.
Jesus Christ. Maybe that's why it only leaves half a track. It's only half of this world. Imagine what the ghost half would look like.
Because I can't stress enough, it's not half of a track. It looks like someone took the heel of their boot and scraped the mud. It's nothing. It's not shaped like anything.
But see, this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, this is... They want a ghost dog. They had Jeff research the fact that ghost dogs exist here. They're doing a fine job of piecing together a ghost dog storyline. They found a grave. They looked up the lore. Oh, the grave it has a single name. It's not for a person. It's for a dog. Oh, they have this ritual. Now the dog protects the cemetery, so anybody that comes on this old area, the dog is going to ward them off. All right, fine. But you need to develop a way to track the ghost dog. This is why ectoplasm exists in fiction, in ghost fiction. So you have an equivalent of footprints for a ghost. But you can't keep doing the footprints thing and then also say, we know it's a ghost because it doesn't leave prints. Now, in the improv, they may come back in future episodes and say, okay, we're dealing with 2 different creatures. There's a big wolf that leaves the big prints, and it is married to a ghost wolf.
A bone sucker.
That did not, a bone drinker that did not survive its wedding night. Maybe they're working their way toward that. But as of right now, they cannot figure out how to track it without footprints because that's the only thing they know. So they keep wavering back and forth between there's no prints, which is proof that it's a ghost. Oh, here's prints. That proves the ghost is here. Within half a minute from each other. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Cut all of that.
Well, no, because
there's
another. They decide, okay, they're looking at this track and they hear the canned growl from the forest again. Some things never changed, and that's them stopping to look at a track when they're on the hunt for a creature that's right there. So they're keeping that in the reboot. That still happens.
Yeah, good.
And they immediately run back to the car for their guns. Now we've established car didn't hurt Ghost Dog. Not sure why the gun would. Like you would need to get it blessed by a priest or something. Like I don't. You need a method to fight it that's not shooting it with a gun if it's impervious to, say, getting hit by a car. Like I don't know, put salt or rock salt or something. No, that's the supernatural thing. Dig up the bones of the family that buried him there. Put them in the shotgun. shoot him with the bones. I'm just saying it needs
like it.
something. Like you can't run back, but they do. They make it like, okay, we
You
run back
mentioned
to
graves.
the car.
Maybe it's worth mentioning that, like, this legend about this dog guarding the cemetery. There's no cemetery. There's no second grave. There's no field of graves. It's just the one grave. So
You're right. They've heavily implied that there's a cemetery over there, and what we do is we don't look over there. Because that costs money. They won't let us film in the cemetery. So they run back to the car, and Willie says he didn't bring a gun, and Jeff says he didn't bring the thermal camera. And and so they decide, like, oh, well, this can't stand because we need guns to fight the ghost dog. Wild Bill very awkwardly, like, power lunges into camera, like to hit a mark that he's been assigned, and he says very nobly, "Take mine. I am a damn weapon." And nobody has a quip. Like, I thought they were setting that up for a joke or something. They're like, no, that's your hero moment.
yeah,
Wild Bill.
I like that. He didn't deliver it well, but I was like, I like the sentiment behind that. That's
Yeah. I like that also Willie just takes it and he gives it a, you sure? And then he just takes the gun. It's like, yeah, no problem. You should not have this anyway.
And I'm not a weapon, so yeah, you're right.
Buck has a plan. He says, all right, Jeff, let's jump in the car, run back to base camp, and we'll grab your thermal and Willie's shotgun. Meanwhile, Willie, Huckleberry, and Bill ease on up there, see if you can't get eyes on him. So, I do have one fault with that plan, and that's that you could have sent the guy without the gun back to camp. And the guys with guns could have stayed here and helped. So I
that'd
just
be a
don't
good
know.
way to handle it.
I don't know what the exact plan was there, but they follow it. They head out. Willie, Wild Bill, and Huckleberry head out into the woods. And here's the other thing they do. They all stick together very closely. So I guess I don't know why it was such a big deal that one of them didn't have a gun.
That's an interesting point. There's another thing they say is that without the thermal, they're blind. Huckleberry says we could be walking right into the mouth of the devil, except for everyone's headlamps and flashlights and camera lights.
I like it. I like that they're bigging up Jeff in the reboot. They're like, Jeff, you're the researcher, you're the eyes of the team. We need that thermal that only you know how to work, buddy.
And again, because if you're gonna hunt a ghost, you've got to track its heat signature.
Mm-hmm.
And it does show up on
I
the
thought
thermal.
about this a lot. I would think that if you were tracking ghosts, you could sort of see the absence of heat, like a little cold blob might mean a ghost.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's the hottest thing they've ever seen on the camera.
Right, it is.
Goes nuclear like the sun. And
there's also a point where they come across a fallen log and they try to do the CSI thing and like, oh
Yes.
look, there's a bunch of bark scraped off this, and one of them's like, not even a 180-pound wolf could have done that. And then Wild Bill, to demonstrate it, punches the log with his fist to show like this is rock hard petrified wood, and just chunks of it fly off. It is completely rotten. And it is very funny, and I think he knew it was funny, and they just left it in.
They left it in.
now there is a very good reason why this ghost is showing up on thermal, and we'll get to it. I just don't want to rag on it too hard because they, amazingly enough, they did think of this, and I want to give them credit when it comes time to give them credit. So Buck and Jeff get back to camp. They grab the gun, they grab the thermal, they hop in their forest golf cart to head back.
Yeah, they grab the gun, grab the thermal out of one of the many large SUVs parked there that the production team that they could have used to drive around.
And they didn't drive back in them. They drive back in the forest golf cart. So intentionally the much slower vehicle to return there, even though, as we've established, they did drive here on the road. So it's not like you need the all-terrain capabilities. Toyota Camry was perfectly fine. Perfectly serviceable vehicle for the kind of terrain that they drive
They didn't
through.
have time for the fat jokes. They had to get moving.
So back with the hunting party, they smell something weird, and they make a big show. Is that sulfur? No, it smells like coal. And they find a big burnt spot in the woods. And Huckleberry says, well, it's like a dragon was here. But then he kind of shakes his head like that would be ridiculous. And then 10 seconds later, he says, sort of looks like one of them big old dragons swooped down there and shot a big flame out and scorched everything and burnt the devil's ass. just an
Yeah.
overexcited child. Just he won't let him play Predator. He's gonna play Dragon Slayer.
He's gonna play Dragon.
He's trying to invent a dragon. You left him alone, right, Buck? Jeff, you're the adults here. You went back to camp. Huckleberry, for all intents and purposes, is unsupervised. He's playing Dragon. He's playing Dragon from the hit film Dragon Slayer, is what he's doing. It starts snowing, which they're very excited about. But we cut back with Buck and Jeff. Buck is saying, we're watching what's happening. The cameraman is with him.
We
and
can
Buck
see
is saying,
Buck.
Buck says, the snow is starting. It's a total whiteout out there. You can barely see. You could get turned around so bad. And then the camera does the meanest thing, which is it pans outside of the golf cart to show you the gentle, tiny flakes beginning to fall. Just of a gentle,
Brutal.
a gentle little snowstorm, like as if to mock him. So Jeff demands Buck stop the cart because he sees something on thermal. He's got a distant shape. Could be anything. There are all sorts of animals in the woods, but he's sure that this one's moving so fast it could only be a ghost dog. The supernatural speed of it is what he sells as it zips away and disappears off of camera. He's like, my God, nothing can move that fast. You got to stop. There's a ghost dog here. And they call the other team who have found a dragon. And they say, abandon the dragon hunt. We've seen a shape. We've got a blurry shape in the woods. That, by the way, already gone. Long gone.
Yeah.
Zipped away from us.
Too fast.
So they start pursuing. Buck and Jeff start pursuing the dog, and all of a sudden, Buck is down. Buck falls straight down because of nothing. He just fell over, and it's like we say, the most dangerous thing they do is walk around in the woods at night. You could turn an ankle, and he says he hurt his knee, and I shouldn't have laughed at this, aggravating an old football injury.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
First we've heard of this.
The sequence is the weirdest thing they've ever done in Mountain Mouse. So he is now down, like he can't walk. The plot point is like he's torn his ACL, like he's aggravated. He's got the injury that ended Michael Vick's career. He's whatever. So he's like, that's the plot point. Buck cannot walk. He has destroyed his knee and he has to be like helped back to the golf cart. Okay. So now they are down Buck. We've seen this plot point before. This forces the team to split up because now Buck is isolated alone back at the golf cart. The rest of the team has to continue the hunt. Okay.
Yeah. And this gives Buck his very special time alone to have an encounter that nobody else possibly could, usually with a child. That's the old show.
That's the old show. Yeah, that's
right.
None of that is canon. We need to stop referencing that.
I just want to, as a reminder, this is an injury that was caused during the mission to go back to get the equipment they forgot to bring to the wolf hunt, which might be a ghost wolf hunt, or maybe Buck was very sleepy and there's no wolf at all. Just to remind you, the deadliest of monster hunters.
Yeah, and he did not injure himself running from the creature or getting grabbed by it or anything like that. They were just walking, and then because it's slick or whatever, and his old football injury acted up, and that ACL that had been weakened by his years of playing free safety
That is
with
athletic
the New
peak.
York Jets.
That's his day
right,
job.
all
I got
right,
to drive back to the New York Jets.
That's why it's so far. It's exactly 2 hours.
Anyway, all right. So now continue on the hunt. What's the next thing that's going to happen to up the stakes?
Well, we go back to Willie.
right.
Willie
The super
Willie
roar.
is adamant that they have to get moving because, as he says, with all this snow falling, there's no way they could ever pick up a track. Give that a beat. Moving on.
It'll
Then
be
they
impossible to track this thing through the snow. Because there's snow, we'll never be able to see its tracks. I love
Yeah.
it.
Which you shouldn't leave because it's a ghost. What? We're too many layers. Too many layers.
Yeah,
Ghosts.
yeah. Don't pursue that. No.
They do leave
Ghosts
tracks in
leave
mud. They
tracks
can't leave
in
tracks
mud,
in snow.
Not snow. Yes, I get it.
Because snow is like the ghost of water. You understand?
That does make sense.
So they hear a branch snap, and then Jeff decides he has the blob on thermal again. The rest of the team disappears so that Buck can have his private little moment to make a Cherokee Ghost Bride for the Ghost Dog. Another sequel title for Ghost Dog. Ghost Bride for the Ghost Dog. And now, you won't believe this, they're on the hunt, and suddenly Huckleberry is down. He has also torn his ACL.
He is grabbing his knee, and then he's like, oh, I did something to my knee. And then Wild Bill playing along with the improv or noting the thing that actually happened says, yeah, his knee went sideways. I heard it crack. I heard his patellar tendon snap. And within 1 minute, these two men both they both destroy their knees. Do you think this was a written sequence?
It couldn't have been, right?
Both of these, I can't imagine they wrote this. These two men in a leisurely, again, they were not sprinting through the woods. They were walking at walking speed. And within 1 minute, they both tore their knees open to the point they couldn't walk. They were crippled. They couldn't walk.
For a second, okay. For a second, I thought, what a cool idea to have a monster that can just tear your ACL.
That's exactly what I thought.
Wow, this is weird.
I thought the ghost dog was running through them at knee level.
It's the same ghost that hunts MetLife Stadium. It's just destroying knees left and right. Amazing.
Like Kitty Pryde just phasing through and only taking the ACL.
Yep.
It's the tendon snatcher.
That's what happened to the pig. It took all the tendons.
Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ. I have had like a terrible chest and sinus infection for the whole like 6 weeks this year. And this is why I cough and I struggle a lot. And like, this is why my throat has been so bad to like watching these episodes and talking about these episodes, is because I laughed too hard when Huckleberry went down and went, oh God, also my knee. I let out like this sharp bark and was like, oh God, no, I've torn the ACL in my chest. Watching this.
I like that the plan is just to fucking leave him. They're like, all right, well, if he can't walk, let's leave him by tree.
They
call
him.
Buck, and Buck's like, no, you can't leave Huckleberry by an unmarked tree in a snowstorm. He's not one of our NPCs waiting to give us a quest. And Huckleberry argues against it. He's like, no, dude. I got 90 rounds on me. Like,
I pity the animal that comes for me in the forest, is what he says. And you're like,
we'll never find you again. You'll freeze to death. He's like, yeah, but I'll shoot 90 things.
No, we're not leaving you here because we know what's going to attack you. It's going to be the freaking Predator from the hit film Predator. We're not doing that. That's not canon anymore. They told us we weren't allowed to do that. So no.
With a twinkle in his eye, he's like, it's not Predator. Just hears dragon noises in his head. Leave me alone. I'm going to fight the dragon. My knee went out too. Looks like somebody's got to fight a dragon. God damn it. They leave him. And I kind of see their point, because otherwise this is just repeatedly walking one member of the team back to the golf cart at a time as they get like one step farther until they're all done.
Just going to be a string of torn ACLs. just 5 of them. Just all of them now freezing to death.
Describing the monster they're looking at. How's it going over there? I see a dragon. What about you? Oh, it's a child bride.
There's so many things in this forest. If none of this was written, this is a very funny lesson in why you don't do a show about geriatric monster hunters.
Yeah. Huckleberry,
just a lot of genuine injuries.
Turns right to camera in a testimonial where he's standing up. Again, he can't stand on this knee. Cut to a few minutes later, he's standing up doing a testimonial to the camera. He says, I dare any animal that walks these hills to try and come and get a taste of me. And like, you can't talk tough when 2 of your team has lost a fight to half an inch of snow. Like, it's over. Your days of pretending to be tough are over. And then he tries a second one. He's like, oh yeah, monsters are out here trying to eat me. Okay, I got one. This Huckleberry is bitter than hell, and ain't ripe for the picking. I like to picture him just rewording that thousands of times. They're like, we'll take the best two.
I think that's an exact quote from Pride and Prejudice, by the way.
You're right.
Really trying for that sizzle reel. Amazed they didn't choose that one for the sizzle reel, Huckleberry. But
I think it's from that Sean Connery dragon movie where he... Here's Huckleberry.
They leave him for dead. They've lost 2 team members to torn ACLs because it snowed a gentle flurry. So back at the Forest golf cart, Buck is having his very special encounter, and he hears a snap, and somehow he's able to get up and walk out of the golf cart now, out into the woods to pursue the source of the snap. And what he hears is a distant chain rattling, like fucking. Like Jacob Marley,
he's got like a Charles Dickens ghost.
Yeah, he's got cryptids of future, past, present, and future out there waiting to teach him a lesson.
Here's where it's in my note. I'm worried they're now starting to add too many things. Mm-hmm. Because it's out there rattling chains, and it leaves a big charred crater behind wherever it goes, like it breathes fire, and it don't leave footprints, but also it does.
Half of one.
And note that it's the same thing that always happens, and it's that they've split up and decided, I need to do something. I know what'll be creepy. I found dragon fire because I found this old bird section where somebody let a campfire go out of control. And then he gets back to the team, and it's like, well, we said we found dragon fire out there, and it breathes fire. Like we don't have, we tried that. We don't have the budget for that.
Meanwhile, we're going to go back to Huckleberry, who's now been sitting there, and suddenly he can hear something gnawing on a bone. Yeah, he's got the bone drinker out there. That's right. He's like, I'm going with the bone drinker, baby. I don't know what the hell you're hunting.
Something is out there crushing bones in its jaws. And the interesting part to me is that we'll get to it later. Just note that Huckleberry is now this is the whole purpose of his last stand, right? This is the thing he does when he's isolated here alone. He's like, I heard something out there crunching on bones, stronger jaws than anything living out in these woods. He does say these woods make him uneasy, and he's not saying they're haunted. He doesn't believe in ghosts. He's a reasonable man who has fought the Predator from the hit film Predator
right.
with a knife on 3 separate occasions.
He has never been in a cornfield he didn't declare as haunted immediately.
All of that's in the past. We got to let it go. You got to let it go.
Mind controlled by a Bigfoot that forced him to play out a shower cuck fetish. That's not canon. Everybody cut it. Every time we refer to an old episode.
Other one. The other Bigfoot that molested him.
It's a multiverse situation. That was Universe 611C. Yes. This is 61B. None of that's happened to this Huckleberry. This Huckleberry, he didn't get molested by a Bigfoot in his childhood home, causing him to be ostracized and bullied by the school children. That didn't happen. Press start.
That's a good rewrite. That's a good note.
It is. So we're back with the rest of the party that can still stand and walk, which is not very many. Jeff finds prints in the snow, and for some reason we cut to the thermal and they're glowing. Not sure why the snow would be glowing hot. But he pans the camera up and back to the regular camera, and we see eyes in the dark. Glowing yellow eyes.
Yeah, not the right color.
That's not the color you said, but it's still pretty cool that there are eyes out there. And they do some more shots, interspersed with more shots on the thermal, and you can plainly see the shape of it now. And it's a dog. It's a dog running out there, and they're like, oh, it must be the ghost dog, and it's having a real good time because it's wagging its tail a lot. And so Willie is out there, slowly creeping up on it, and suddenly he goes fucking crazy with the ghost dog madness, and he just wordlessly runs off. And then Wild Bill and Jeff are screaming, Willie, what are you doing? Willie, where are you going? Don't go out there. Willie. And he's just no answer, mutely sprinting off into the arms of the ghost dog. And then you hear this strange scream from him, and you think, oh no, Willie's knee. But no,
Oh my God, we got to a point where there were only 6 of them. 3 of them have torn their ACLs and one of them is dead.
Well, no, Willie has captured it. He has captured a dog, an ordinary dog. It's a black lab.
Very nice. He's a very good boy.
It's somebody's pet. He's so happy to be involved in the shoot. This is the happiest dog you'll ever meet. Tail wagging so hard, tongue out, just hopping around. That makes, for the total tally, if we're counting what happened in Universe 61C, this is 4 dogs they have now captured. Because they did capture...
They're the
They
best.
did capture 3 dogs once. Add
Willie-
another dog to the pile, boys.
Willie still tries to make this a mystery. He says, "What's it doing by this big uprooted tree?"
Yeah, I don't know, man. Dog stuff. Dogs are places. They just
know,
are
man.
places.
Yeah, but what would it be doing out here? He says, like, if people live around here. In your own lore, you're not trying to hide the fact, you're not pretending to be in the middle of the Amazon. It's in your own lore. There's farms around here. It's
This
somebody's
is the
dog.
farmer's dog that you didn't save. They're all dead. They can't take it in at night. The bone drinker got him. There's just a puddle of farmer jello now, and the dog is free to roam. Willie tries to make it a mystery, but then he's also clearly just playing with this dog and like smacking it around a little bit, roughing it up with his face, and everybody's just kind of it's hopping around. It's so happy. And cut to the testimonial, and Willie says, "I'm glad we caught something, but I'm a little disappointed. All we've been chasing all night, just a local's dog." The whole
There's
thing.
a moment
they decide
here
the whole
that's
thing.
good too, where they call Buck, and they're like, "We caught it," and Buck's like, "You caught it?" He's like, "No time to explain." He could just say it's just a dog, bro.
That's the meanest. That's got to be like the fake lottery tickets they give like assholes give you for Christmas. This is the
Yep.
cryptid hunter version of that. We're like, "We caught it. Oh, you caught it. No time to explain." And then they show up with somebody's dog. It's just
This
Dick move.
heartbreaking.
This was the dog that apparated through your car and then that burned down an acre of forest with its fire breath and
its
then
fire
that drank the bones of that farmer's family
Yes.
and that hog. It was this little dog, all of it.
That keeps making lionroar.wav in every direction wherever we go.
Probably his dog's probably what molested Huckleberry.
And the dog's got a collar that says like Fluffo or something. You're like, yeah, Fluffo's a son of a bitch. I don't know, man. He's out here fucking everything up.
Got to bury it alive.
It's the only way
They
to
really
end the
did
curse.
set that up.
So they catch up with Huckleberry, who has to face the slow realization that he broke
Oh,
his
I'm
knee
sorry. It was
chasing a
also
dog.
rattling the ghost chain. I forgot that the dog
Yeah,
was also
rattling.
rattling the ghost
Doing
chain
so
earlier. I'm
much.
sorry. Go ahead.
In order to teach Buck a lesson about generosity, of course. He was stealing all of the bits, you see, for himself. Yeah, they catch up with Huckleberry, who now has to face the realization he broke his knee chasing somebody's dog in the woods, which is not as cool of a story as he was. I'm out here. Any animal that tries me, I got 90 rounds. It turns out it was a lab. It was a chocolate lab that tried you, Huckleberry, and you lost. But then they all decide the dog heard something because it makes a playful yip. And they say, she's scared. She's scared of something. And meanwhile, we see the dog still wildly wagging her tail, ears up,
Yeah,
just jumping
he's
up
having a
and
great
like
time.
pushing people with their paws. And they're like, oh my God, she's so terrified. We have to get the fuck out of here. They go back, they meet up with Buck at the golf cart, and Buck says to Testimonial, I'm a little disappointed, but somebody's happy to get this dog back.
They've forgotten about the monster roars and the chains and the bone snapping.
And the fire.
I
And the
wish
fire.
so hard that
And the
was
giant footprints.
Yep.
I wish so hard that was the end of the episode. Like if the last line in the episode was, I'm a little disappointed, but somebody's going to be happy to have their dog back. Credits. Like uplifting, beautiful episode about, and then they pivot to rescuing abandoned dogs in the woods. And this is a much better show.
It took them 9 episodes to get to a barn. There's no way they're going to be able to find this dog's owner. No way.
They do start pointing out some of the things you mentioned. They point out that,
That's true.
Well, this this dog doesn't have glowing red eyes. And they've just noticed that.
So fucking stupid.
Like, hey, Colt, you got some ketchup from the pig left over? You just splash it on the dog? And Wild Bill's like, yeah, what about that huge paw print on the grave? No way this dog made that. And they're like, oh, yeah, that probably wasn't this dog who's been just wagging her tail happy. And Huckleberry's like, well, I did find dragon sign. You don't think that was this dog, did you? And Willie chimes in and he says, it even smelled like dragon's breath. So now...
That was my quote of the episode. Willie saying that because he wanted to really play up that it couldn't have just been like a campsite or somebody burning trash or something like because that's clearly what it is. Just somebody burning some leaves or something out there and they didn't tend to it. And he's like, yeah, it smelled like dragon breath.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm sure. Look. In the name of being positive, I think I've forgotten to mention in this episode. If the three of us had to improvise a Bigfoot hunting show, we would say some things we wouldn't want left in the edit. We would probably say some things that we would demand they not leave in the edit. You're improvising. You're saying stuff on the fly. I would accidentally say, yeah, it smelled like dragon breath. And you guys would look at me and say, okay, can you take that again? Can you give us something other than, no, what does dragon breath smell like? Why do you know what dragon breath smells like? But of course, in this show, they leave it in. So it's just like he was trying to come up with something to like play up. This is not normal fire, guys. It smelled like dragon breath.
Well, hold on. What if? Okay, we're in Mountain Monsters Universe 61C, right? None of that other stuff ever happened, but they did fight a dragon one time. Just one. Nothing else weird has ever happened to them.
Yes, you're right.
No, I'm saying in this universe, in this alternate
dragon.
Universe, there was just one dragon. When one time they fought it. Otherwise, everything's totally normal. No ghosts, no big feet, nothing. But they're like, that did smell like dragon's breath. That one time we fought that dragon, which was fucking crazy. But did not happen on the show.
Between seasons of the show. Yeah, fought it off camera.
Fought off camera. Didn't happen on the show. So Buck is recapping it. He says, so here's what we got. We got some sort of weird chain rattling. We got this 12-foot-long scorch mark on the ground. And we caught a dog?
All the pieces of the puzzle laid out.
That's the recap.
Just the world's greatest
just...
puzzle masters to put it together.
Like, there's no other conclusion to come to at the end of, we got some chain rattling, we got a 12-foot-long scorch mark, and we found a dog. We're just fucking around out here, aren't we, guys? None of this means anything.
It's worth mentioning that everyone's standing and moving around just fine on their shattered knees.
Just fine.
Okay, but see, I noticed that. But if that was fake, if that was a plot point, why would you do it that way? If the plot point is two people get taken out of the hunt, one gets hurt, the other has to take him back to the thing. Why would it be okay? I'm just imagining it's on the page of their writer. It's like, okay, so Buck tears his ACL and he has to go back to the golf cart. And then Huckleberry also tears his ACL and has to be planted near a tree.
I promise you, if you looked into this writer's personal life, you would find that the week before he wrote this script, he had torn his ACL.
Because suddenly that's all you want to. Suddenly that's all you want to do.
It's like now this is my whole life. This is all I know about. So it's going to make its way into my writing, and then all of a sudden, everybody on the team tears their ACLs one after another. He tried lung meat
for the first time.
He rented a car, and he found it a little bit small. And you're like, I'm going to put that in the show. So they're all recapping. They do a little riff here about how Wild Bill doesn't have to be the dog stand-in anymore. And then this would be, if this was a Jackie Chan movie, high five and freeze frame. Like, perfect out. We're done, right? We found somebody's dog. That's a good deed. That's honestly more than we usually accomplish on this show, finding somebody's dog.
They rescued it from a dragon, technically.
I would 100% watch an hour-long episode of these guys trying to find that dog's owner in real time. I don't know how that would end up. It would be too sad to broadcast.
I want to watch them chase the dog down. Like that, it's very funny to be like a grown man, even if you're relatively fit. Trying to chase a dog down is very funny because you can't fucking do it, and they just run circles around you and turn circle, and you fall down a lot. It's entertaining watching. I would watch these guys just chase a normal dog, and then try to get it home every single week. So they're like, that's it. They're like, well, that was our adventure. I hope you guys liked it at home. We did not prove that wolves exist. We found an ordinary dog. We're going to get out of here. As far as they know, that's what they do. That's the end. Now, it's not the end of the episode, but they were happy to conclude the end of the episode and call it right there. Like, whoops, sorry, we found a dog. That could have been it. Now,
2 of us got injured. 1 of us got stuck in a car.
But we come back to a Chiron saying 48 hours after catching the dog, the team meets up. Presumably to talk about how great that dog was. Now they find Colt, the producer Colt. He is waiting for them out in the woods at midnight with the back of his car open because he has to show them a video. I'm not sure why this is the best way to show them a video, meeting them in the woods at midnight. And he explains, okay, we took all the footage. You know how we take the footage here, and we don't necessarily watch it right after we take it. So we took all the footage here, and what we do is we send it back to LA to be edited. Still can't pay you a full-time wage, Buck. We send it back to LA to be edited by the team back there. And the editors called Colt last night, and they said, we have to show you this clip, and they sent it to him. And so then he burned a full day just playing with a dog or something. I don't know. I don't know why he waited until midnight a full day later to gather them together in the woods to say, now I have that clip, and I'm going to play it for you on the laptop in the back of my car.
Okay, before we go any further, this is jaw-dropping because they've decided that in the universe of this show, and I think this has to be made up, that they have a control room full of people in Los Angeles who are waiting in real time for updates on their hunt. They work around the clock because in his own story, we catch the footage of the day. We send it back to LA, to the Mountain Monsters Tower in downtown LA where they've got the cubicles and the giant screens. And they go through the footage as it comes in, like NASA tracking a freaking Mars landing. They're watching it. Then they spotted something. They called him in the middle of the night. These people work through the night processing the hunt as it unfolds, and they call him at 2 a.m. and say, Colt, get out of bed. We've seen something. The team here has seen something. Here at Mission Control, Mountain Monsters Mission Control, all of the room full of all of the scientists and all of them. And now, every time something happens in this show, we are forced to imagine the control room of scientists leaning, like in the Apollo 13 film, they're leaning forward over their monitors, just looking, just sweating, waiting for updates to come in. Did Huckleberry also tear his patellar tendon?
Somebody had to lean down and whisper a second ACL tear has hit the Ames team.
Are those both going to come in as workman's comp claims? Are they going to pay that? Is that going to have to go? That's like $50,000 in medical bills just for the 2 MRIs.
Imagine the update when they got, it's a dog.
Got the dog.
Yeah, they found a normal dog. It was a normal dog the whole time? Yes.
Guys, Buck is going back to work. I repeat, Buck is going back to his day job at Foot Locker.
Still can't afford you to pay a full wage, Buck.
Wait, no, never mind. The Jets have been knocked out of the playoffs. Buck is off. He is off Sunday.
So the footage that Colt shows them, it says that it was back when Buck was driving. They thought he hit the dog. He had just gotten out and he was looking all over for signs of just ghost entrails splattered all over his rented Camry. and he wasn't finding anything. And he turns, and in the footage you could see, they did not know it at the time, but in the footage you can see there were 2 red eyes behind him that quickly dart off screen. So it was right there. The professional monster hunter was actively looking for it, and it was feet away from him, and he never saw it. And Buck says, I thought it would put my mind at ease knowing it was real, but now I feel worse. I'm a little scared.
By the way, if you go back to the previous episode, you're going to say, are those red eyes back there behind Buck, or did they add that? They absolutely were. If you were a fan watching this show one week, give them credit. This was their writer put this in. Because if you were a fan watching the show a week at a time, if you saw the finale of that scene, you would have spotted those red eyes back there and be like, are those tail lights? No. Or is that like a freaking monster behind them? Because they don't acknowledge it at all. They just continued the episode, and they got stuck in the car a bunch of times. And then this next episode comes, so like, yeah, look, we looked. If you slow it down, there's a freaking monster behind you. That's pretty cool.
That was one of your notes. That was one of the Jason Pargin producer notes from Out of Time. Drifted down in that snowstorm. It was one of those snowflakes that landed on them, and they were like, oh yeah, when you were talking about how if they're insisting that the little girl is in all of the scenes beyond, if you go back and watch it, was she actually there? No. No, they never did that, but wouldn't it be cool if they did? So now that they're rebooting everything, wouldn't it be cool if we did that? And they did that, and you're right, they should get points. They lose those points when Colt says, you guys know animals better than me. What's in the woods that's going to have glowing red eyes like that? A deer?
No.
Do deer have glowing red eyes? You know the old saying, how the deer are from the devil? They're like an invasive species from hell, and you have to kill them if you see them? No, they determined nothing. There's not an animal out there with glowing red eyes. Could be Mothman, I guess, but we've retconned Mothman out of here.
Right, he doesn't exist anymore. There's that one ghost dog that they've been hunting for 2 days.
So now we got to figure out what that might be. And I really hope it turns out to be another normal lost dog. I hope that's the show from now on, is instead of failure, every single time when the trap is closed and they run up, it's just a normal dog wagging its tail and happy to see them.
Or that same one over and over.
Same one.
It's catching the same
just
dog.
Like, Wendy, God damn it. Just bane of their fucking existence.
It keeps burying it alive. It keeps digging its way out.
Just thinks this is all a fun game. Somehow that's the episode. Somehow this is 3 episodes of television, and so far we have found a normal dog. I'm stunned at what they're managing to do here. There's the larger implication here. They still say at some point that we've been doing this for 7 years. We've had this show for 7 seasons. We've been a team this whole time. But now they're retconning it like they've never encountered anything supernatural. So what was this show in their universe? Where like the most exciting thing is now in season 7, where they've found a normal dog and spotted what might be some eyes and a shot. What was this show for the other 7 that had less stuff happened than this?
What's weird is that they seem to, like, the show does this a lot where like a loud noise will like happen, and that's just something that is normal for them. And so they keep doing that, but in this new format where they have never seen anything supernatural, but there's still a giant roar that breaks up almost every act break. And they have completely forgotten about it because that's still normal to them, even though they've rebooted it to these new people who've never seen a ghost. There's still people who, it's just a Bigfoot. Don't even worry about that. That's not.
What? Okay, now hold on. The only time the word Bigfoot has been uttered through these 3 episodes is in the sizzle reel at the end of episode 1. They had a preview of coming up, and they had like Huckleberry find some hair. Like, is that a Bigfoot hair? He's like, I think it is. So they're building up to these guys discovering their very first Bigfoot, because I can promise you when Bigfoot comes into the story, at whatever point it does, they're going to act like they definitely have not fought an army of 7 big feet that could summon the power of lightning to end the world, and then had to assemble a magical axe to defeat them.
Definitely haven't showered for him. Like, that's something that's going to come way later once they develop the relationship. They're going to do it right this time. They're going to make the people wait, simmer that tension.
They bargained a 4-year escape room for the corpse of a Bigfoot.
I love so much the idea that you could just do 7 seasons into a show and be like, nope, fuck it, starting over.
Yeah.
Like, we're rebooting, starting at season 1? Nope, we're just going to pretend.
Hey, comic books do it all the time. Now, granted, this is not really the same format, doesn't necessarily make as much sense as when we've got just a new artist and writer coming in to totally redo a different Spider-Man. But no, there's like, no, it's a different show. We're just starting over.
Yep.
We painted ourselves into so many corners. It's
like, let's match up the timelines. When was the first season of Fargo? When did they realize you could do this? We're doing a Fargo. Yeah, I just saw that show. It was fucking great. It's just one season, one-off story. Didn't have to. It wasn't like last season they fought a corn wizard. They didn't have to deal with the corn wizard of last season. It must be so freeing. Let's do a
does
Fargo,
include
boys.
corn wizards. There's always like a little bit of corn wizard in a Fargo.
It's the little crawl that starts up top. Like, all of these events are real, including the corn wizard. Every season. Well, that's how you know it's Fargo. Jesus Christ, that was somehow the episode. I can't believe how little has happened and how long it has taken. And with that, I am going to do my favorite quote first, with that in mind. It is when Buck is joining one of the hunts, and he stops and he goes, "Man, I cannot believe how quick all this is going down. My gosh." The gall, the audacity,
the fucking balls.
Like, I just under my breath, oh, fuck you. Just, you goddamn know you haven't done anything. That's it. That's my quote. How about you, Sean?
My notes are kind of a mess, but I have one I kind of liked here. It was Wild Bill. He says, "I just got the old penis knocked in the dirt by the electric fence."
Just every episode. Never gonna get beat.
Yeah. It was implied.
Jason, what's yours?
So for mine, Sean mentioned it in passing, but mentioned it as if it was unremarkable. And I think it's actually great phrasing, because Huckleberry is trying to he has these lines where he tries to get into the trailer, where it's like, we are walking to the gates of hell itself. We are walking to, we are in the devil's domain. Where here he chose to phrase it as, and try to get a mental picture of this. We could be walking right into the mouth of the devil. We could be walking boner first into the wet mouth of Beelzebub.
The wet, warm, hot mouth.
We could be walking right into his mouth.
You know what? I've actually got a quote that goes along with yours that I didn't get to use. This is my second favorite quote. This is when Jeff is first finding the tracks on the thermal. And Jeff says, "I got something warm right here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, right there."
I've got another quote where when they are when they're trying to make Wild Bill pretend to be the dog in front of the car. At one point, Jeff says to Wild Bill, because Jeff's getting the taste of being able to haze somebody else, "Get your ass over there and start barking like a dog."
That's it.
Because you have to be a Bigfoot teacher, you have to open up your mouth. You have to be a Bigfoot teacher. All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything Whoa, whoa.